Hi, welcome. I'm trying to learn history. Today the Phoenicians, and after we've done it, we're going to do leg injury prevention training. And if you participate in the leg injury prevention training, vergeet we dat je anders. The Phoenicians, I don't know how it's pronounced. From about 3000 before Christ, Semitic peoples such as Canaanites lived on the eastern Mediterranean coast and built the great city of Byblos. Okay, 5000 years ago, there were some peoples, for example the Canaanites, living in the eastern part of the Mediterranean Sea, between Europe and Africa, and they were building the great city Byblos. Then, 4000 years ago, the people living here, so in Byblos, became known as Phoenicians. Okay. 5000 years ago, there were the Canaanites, and they were building in the eastern Mediterranean Sea a city called Byblos. And then 3000 years ago, these people were known now as the Phoenicians. The word Phoenicians comes from Phoenix, the Greek word for a purple dye made famous by these people. Okay, the people from the Phoenician people, they had a dye in the color purple, and the Greek called this color Phoenix, and that is now the whole name of the people. The Phoenicians were great sea traders. Their ports of Tyre and Sidon bustled with ships carrying goods from all over the known world. Okay, there was not only the city of Byblos, but also were they having other cities called Tyre and Sidon, and they were ports, and from them ships were carrying goods all over the known world. Probably some purple dye to Greek. Using wool from Mesopotamia and flax and linen from Egypt, the Phoenicians made cloth. They also made jewelry from imported gems, metals, and ivory. Okay. Somewhere in the region is also Mesopotamia. Yeah, if you never seen a map, there it is. Somewhere in the region is Mesopotamia, 4,000 years ago. 3,000 years ago. And there were flax and linen, and that is. They got the wool from Mesopotamia, so from sheep probably, or animals, and then flax and linen from Egypt. I'm not completely sure. It could be that flax and linen is made from plants. Whatever, some type of it. And they were making clothes out of it, or cloth. But they were also making jewelry. They imported gems, metals, and ivory, I don't know what that is, and they made jewelry. The Phoenicians invented the alphabet and gave us, so they mean human beings, the word to, so they mean the English-speaking human beings. The Phoenicians invented the alphabet and gave the English-speaking human beings the word to, with double O. So that basically means also. The Phoenicians word Aleph, which is the word for ox, which is an animal, almost like a cow, cattle, and Beth, that means house, became the Greek letter Alpha and Bet. Okay, so the people there, they were doing, they had a dye thing with which they could dye things purple, and the Greeks said that color looks like phoenix, and now the whole people have a name, Phoenicians. And they were also having animals, and the oxen that we call Aleph, and the house that we call Beth, and therefore the Greek alphabet starts with Alpha and Bet. The word Bible and the prefix Bibli, meaning books, comes from the city of Byblos. Okay, 5000 years ago, there was the city built by the Canaanites, Byblos, at the eastern Mediterranean coast. Yes, that is the eastern Mediterranean coast. At the eastern Mediterranean coast, so it's western of the land, but it's the Mediterranean Sea, and now it's western of the Mediterranean Sea, so in the east of the Mediterranean Sea. Where was the city Byblos built, and now the Phoenicians were living there, and for some reason that word made it into the word Bible, which is the book of Christianity, and also in the prefix of Bible meaning books, or Bibliotheca, library. library. And that means books. And that is from the name. So the dye for which the Phoenicians were famous was made from the shells of murex snails. Okay, so there are snails, these are little animals, I'm pretty sure these are animals. So they're animals, not that they're into insects or something. So animals, but insects have all 6 legs. So there were snails, and these snails have the name murex, and these snails, if there is a way to get now the color purple out of them. About 600 before Christ, Phoenician sailors sailed from the Red Sea right around Africa and back into the Mediterranean Sea. How did they do it? Phoenician sailors sailed from the Red Sea. Oh yes, okay. I was wondering because the Suez Canal wasn't existing. Now, the Red Sea is where the Suez Canal today leads through, basically. So there's Europe, there's the Mediterranean Sea, and there's Africa. Between Africa and the Middle East, there is, so next to Egypt, there is a little land border, and there cannot go ships through. And then starts a little sea, the Red Sea. And that is the Red Sea. And from the Red Sea, you can go out, and then next to Yemen and Somalia, and then down through South Africa, up again through the Mediterranean Sea, through the Strait of Gibraltar, back. So it is possible to sail from the Red Sea, down around Africa, back into the Mediterranean Sea, and back. And the Phoenicians, for some reason, did that. Today, so the Romans actually started to build it, but they didn't complete it. Sometime in the 19th century, at the end of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century, there were people, and they got that little land strip there, I don't know how long it is, 50 kilometers or something, and they digged it 200 meters open and made a little canal, that is the Suez Canal. And therefore it is now possible to sail or go with a ship directly from the Mediterranean Sea, down through that land strip into the Red Sea and down around Africa or to Asia. Now, that is the Suez Canal, that is now open. So now it is possible to sail from the Mediterranean Sea down through to Asia, or so from Europe basically to Asia, or also from North America or South America. South America is not so important, they can go around. But you can go from North America or Europe to the Mediterranean Sea and then through the Suez Canal to Asia, which is way shorter than going around Africa. And South America probably goes the other way around the world. So basically now it's possible to go through the Suez Canal, but then back 3,000 years ago there was no Suez Canal, there was a land strip, and people had to sail around Africa to go to Asia, which we did not do. But for some reason the Phoenicians decided they start here and go around Africa and come back. As far west as Gates, which is now Cadiz in Spain, that is here at the Mediterranean Sea. So the Mediterranean Sea is here, and then Spain is here, the Iberian Peninsula. The Phoenicians set up colonies across the Mediterranean. Okay, they made colonies, and they were reaching the farthest up to Spain. So from the eastern part of the Mediterranean Sea, around 3,000 kilometers up to Spain, in Cadiz. I don't know how it's pronounced. The greatest Phoenician colony was the city of Carthage in what is now Tunisia. I'm not completely sure, but I think Tunisia is in Africa, and it is. And here's the Mediterranean Sea, then is here Spain, and here's our Phoenicians. And then is here Morocco, and then there's Algeria, and then next to it is Tunisia. And then comes Libya and Egypt, and then Phoenicia, back then. So here, there's Tunisia. I think, I'm not completely sure. Phoenicians were master seafarers. Broad merchant ships called gaulos carried goods. Many oared rowing galleys defended the ports from attack. Okay, they had built good ships, and they were also able to maneuver with them good. Broad merchant ships called gaulos carried goods. Okay, and they had ships which were a bit broader, so that they could carry goods with them. And they had also some ships with many oars, so many people around here, the picture. And they were used to defend the ports against attacks, against other people who wanted to make colonies. Hull built from the famed cedar of Lebanon trees. And they had a hull, I don't know exactly what a hull is in English, but that was made from cedars of Lebanon trees. Lebanon is where Phoenicia around this. I don't know exactly where Phoenicia would be, but it is where at the eastern part of the Mediterranean Sea there's Lebanon. And there were trees growing, and there were cedar trees growing, and that is wood. Where did I read Lebanon? Just Lebanon, okay. Hull built from the famed cedar of Lebanon trees, okay. Out of the wood of the trees, not the leather. That was the history part. If you were here for history, you can go directly to the next part of history, where we try to gather the information about the Phoenicians together and prepare a presentation about the Phoenicians. If you stay here and participate in the leg angel prevention training, then it's better to be honest. We're having a good standing leg and we're swinging one leg to the side. So side and front. And the other leg to the side. Stay anchored on one leg and bring one foot in front of the leg. Other leg, foot in front and back. And now, breathe in this one leg up, pine picro exercise, and breathe out leg to the side. Again in, and out, bring the leg in, and down, other leg up, breathe in, out to the side, again in, out into the middle, and down. Leg up, hands out, and go with the hands over to one side, the direction warrior, and with knee over to one side also. Our cross both again. Middle and down, other leg up, and with the hands over to one side, and with the knee over to one side. Both over, and down. And now one leg up, and press with the knee up to the side. Other knee up, and press up to the side. Stand good on one leg. This exercise can go onto the knee. And turn over to that side. Go down into the knee. Turn slowly over to the other side. And come up again. Other leg standing. Stand good on that leg. Turn over to the leg. Go down into the knee. Turn over to the other side again. And come slowly up again. Now the clock can go again onto the knee. Stand good. And go with the heel. Always in 90 minutes into the side. On an imaginary dial. The other knee goes always a bit down. That's why it can go on the knee. Other leg to 12 o'clock and 1:30 and 30, 10:30 and 9, and also 7:30, 6 and 4:30, and last one 3. Just 3. And now the next exercise, don't do it if you're pregnant, have a good standing leg, the other leg with the heel on the ground, lift the heel off the ground and place it again onto the ground. Other leg, and lift the heel off the ground and place it again on the ground. Now, stand good, leg up and down the stem. Other leg up and down. And now a horse. Leg in and out and in. And now if you like the camel, the whole body moves now also. And the other leg in and out, just a horse. And now the camel, the whole body moves. And back in the middle, legs wide apart, breathing down. And breathe again out. In and up. And out. Breathe in and close the leg. And breathe again out. That was the leg injury prevention training. I thank you very much. And have the next time.